potentially see here. Not necessarily the Doomfist, but the Sombra, because you can control the Mega Pack. Plus, you can control the doors fairly easily as well, because there's only 2 points of real ingress. And like you mentioned, we do sometimes see a Ryan, but we can see a Winston as well.
Could have been a substitute here for the side of Team MVP. We have seen this across multiple assault maps with WGS Armament. Sorry, I didn't mean Team MVP. I meant WGS Armament. Flora is out, as you can see on your screens. DPI is in, potentially more suited to a dive style if Gargoyle does decide to stick onto his Genji, but I doubt that. He's probably just going to go back over to the Zarya. DPI, but I have to see how his playstyle differs from Flora. Potentially here, WGS Armament have put DPI in because he's potentially more of a reliable D.Va Jaws if they're not going to be playing on the Sombra, which we have touted so much for Flora.
Well, he did eat a grab, so that's normally a good start if you're a D.Va. So
it's pretty
not
good
too
start.
bad. They were like, no.
Proving your hunger.
I know you ate the grab, but we're going to put DPI in.
Look at Froppy's positioning here. Wants to try and get those early boots.
Again, look.
Putting people in.
He like beelines, like actually beelines for Karayan. Like, you have to watch out. Finn is going to get taken out in the back line as Myunbong does find his head and click on it. And the rest of WGS need to pay attention to their back line because Rookie was able to just walk back for free. Beautiful boop on Karayan too to make sure So What was safe. A big flame strike, however, does end Valentine's life. So what training though, as DPI does go down also.
Myunbong there, his positioning was so aggressive, he made himself into a free pick when he missed a couple of orbs onto Rookie. Gonna be an attempt at a re-engagement from Team MVP. So what's so low?
They have to do something. A shadow has been earned by Karayan, but I'm not sure they're gonna need it. They had to funnel their way into the hammer swings of Karayan, and that does mean WGS are gonna cap the point. Pretty good timing as well. 6 minutes and 50 seconds now to work with, moving on to second.
And not many ultimates expended, none at all actually in that first fight there, Jaws, which is WGS now have the best chance for a snowball right here. They have the Earth Shadow ready, they have the Graviton Surge ready as well. I'd like to see Karayan use the Earth Shadow first so we can build up a second one by swinging in. That isn't going to be the case.
Big
though.
rally. I don't think it's needed, mate. I'm going to be honest with you. That was a 5-man grab, in fact. They did not stand a chance. So what has been found? Not really sneaky on the big Reinhardt model. Oh, he lays down the shadow. What?
Why?
I don't know. I do not know. I can't answer that question for you. So what is going to die? And WGS in over 6 minutes. Time bank now are going to secure second.
Given So It was down there, we have to assume that Mandu got a boop onto him before the Graviton came down, right? That's how we would end up surviving that and then being isolated on the low ground, unless it was just the weirdest defensive setup where you have Reinhardt standing alone on the point and 5 people on high ground.
Where's the Reinhardt? It's like playing Where's Wally or Where's Waldo if you're American. Where's the Reinhardt? Oh, there he is in the miniature health pack room.
Where's the Rhino?
Where's the Rhino? And then it's like, I'm going to press Shadow on these few. Oh, I'm dead.
Gonna press
That
Shadow.
animation is pretty long, to be fair.
It is a very long wind-up time. When people talk about how like ult cancellations were working, a lot of people were feeling very put out as Reinhardt mains when the first changes happened, so that if you used your ultimate and it didn't go down, that was when you lost it. Like before, I think with Sandbarrier, you could like get stunned during the jump and you'd still be able to use it a second time. Whereas now, you're a lot more punished for making those haphazard ultimate decisions.
Let's be fair, that was a very good change because it was frustrating.
That was a big change.
It was so frustrating hitting a sleep dart and just like on a Dragon Blade in Genji or something along those lines, and then it's like, oh, he still has it for next fight, guys. Oh, now I'm dead again.
Yeah, we'll have to see if the ultimate decisions will remain as good as they were here. WGS Armament are going to be setting up on the defense with a Winston. Of course, it's going to be allowing them a lot more cleave right here as Team MVP are going to be looking forward with a regular sort of setup. 3-3 versus 3-3. Karayan is going to be looking to try and get that early engagement, try and build himself up towards a primal rage, because of course he wants to be able to make those deeper dives. He wants to be able to dive in and then gain the extra 1000 HP if he's pressured upon. You can see himself and DPI ready to try and engage here, but DPI's already taking quite a bit of damage. Myunbong going to be coming down a long path, allowing him a long sight line. The MVP have vaguely successfully made their entry. Froppy is down there.
Yeah, Froppy can get back to the fight rather easily, however. Obviously, he is the Lucio, so shouldn't be too slow either. But look at this ult charge. Karayan can just build up so much here as well. Just like cleaving through everybody in this small building. You see they're actually hunting for Froppy there.
Yeah, they are trying to isolate or cut off those reinforcements. Karayan's going to get out of there after getting the projected barrier, and now he's going to Gonna look in to get that cleave again.
Uh-oh. Yeah, he's jumping up. He's going to get actually matched in the high ground by Jasper, but he's going to be able to back off rather readily, using that shield on the point as well. He is in swinging range. Now he has to be careful. Doesn't want to give So What the ultimate. However, if he does get his online fairly soon as well, that Primal Rage could mean certain death for people who get booped off the edge.
Entry with a rally for Pelican can surge. Everybody forward going to be looking for that additional damage from the Discord.
They're in the same position again. Team MVP push right the way back. And look, now they can just cleave through again. Look at Korian, 100% on the Primal Rage, used it instantly. So What is fairly close to his Shatter, but like they're not going to be able to do much. A Graviton Surge comes out and a Shatter, there you go. Okay, I take that instantly back. A beat will come through as well for Team MVP as the self-destruct went a little bit wide for WGS. So another self-destruct comes in. Jasper doesn't find anybody, but still forces people away and off of the point. 2 ticks have been acquired as well. It's just the last surviving members of WGS to be cleaned up as that rally is going to get used as well.
Crucial difference here, though, Jaws. Rookie will not have a Graviton Surge available for that second point unless he can deal a weird amount of damage by the time they get to that second point. Does need 25%, but Bandu and Pelican, they can answer it with the ultimates that they have. They have Rally, they have the Sandbar ready to go. Gargoyle's going to be a little bit quicker on the trigger when it comes to this Graviton Surge. And here, he just needs to halt Team MVP's momentum. If they can make sure that MVP will lose the next fight, that will put them in a great position to try and go for the full hold of point B defense.
Oh, Gargoyle is nearing the ult charge though, but he gets pushed off. He's not, well, I guess you could arc it, but straight into a defense matrix potentially. Now WGS having to play on point. Team MVP going to circumvent a lot of this damage using the nature of this ledge. They can just fire mortar after mortar down onto the low ground.
It's going to allow Team MVP to choose for engagement as well. So What wandering motion point is shielded for the moment. DPI is behind him.
Oh, the grab came out. He saw the defense matrix go down. He knew it was time to strike. Finn is going to use his Transcendence though to see the rest of the team through. Another Transcendence coming out to stop the grab from MVP. No one's gone down just yet. Actually saying that, DPI ends up falling. And Korian actually goes booped off of the high ground, meaning the rest of his team are left so vulnerable in the front line. Right the way back to their spawn. They end up getting a little bit of time on point, but So What ends up going down.
So What being lost could be critical here for the side of Team MVP, and they're moving forward. Mandu is caught out with that Discord orb.
No one is checking Rookie ever, it feels like. Mandu is at the back, gets lasered, and now WGS have to regroup. They can use the rally to start the initial engagement, but 2 ticks have already been acquired.
Gargoyle almost has the Graviton Surge. He's going to let it loose.
Throws it in, but look at that. Once again, it's going to get matched by Finn. He uses the Transcendence. Korian ends up going down. So What coming back in the nick of time is going to be able to halt the push of WGS. They've almost capped the point. Only 20% now away. A Transcendence from Youngbong to stop the damage coming through on the Graviton Surge of Team MVP. So What tried to find a pin, but wasn't quite so lucky.
So What going to be looking to try and stay alive. Korian down though.
Oh, the shadow from the top rope. Team MVP taking control of the point now. Jasper is going to go down, and now it's the staggering members of WGS to get them onto the point. Still another 20% is needed, however. DPI just stalling for so long. A Shadow nets 1, but Korian doesn't have much follow-up to really use.
Jasper's lost his mech. That could be crucial. Gargoyle leading down.
Grab, actually. Look at that anti-nade too. An honest switch up from Milmo might have just done it. DPI and Pelican are going to have to jump on top of that grab. Do so much damage. Perfect play from WGS, plus using the long-range healing as well. She doesn't really need to step onto the point at all. Myeonbong with a heads-up play jumping onto the Ana.
And that's the kind of clutch communication that you look for, Jaws, when you've been together as a team for so long. Myeonbong just knowing that if Gargoyle's almost got the Graviton Surge, our best hope here will be to land that all-important Bardic Grenade, ensuring that maybe Finn's got another Transcendence. He's building them up so quickly for every Graviton. It's not unlikely that he will have that. We need to ensure that there's no healing coming through.
Same attack again. So misses the pin, and WGS rotates the point rather swiftly. No big tank ultimates online just yet. In fact, they're all fairly far away. You see 69% taking on 70 now for So What with his Shatter.
Valentine going to be looking for that shield bash here, potentially. He's going to use a rally to drive everyone forward into Korian.
Korian going very low. Nice Shatter straight on top of the head of Pelican. Nice little boot there onto So What, but Pelican already went down. He got booped up in the air and instantly taken out before he could hit the floor. DPI's mech also goes down. Remember, WGS, they need to be able to touch for a little bit longer. They got 2 minutes to stall out, and already Team MVP are taking control of the point. They only need a tick as well. No time must be wasted here by WGS.
Rookie and Jasper looking for that combination already, but everyone's just cleaning up on the point. Someone needs to get on there and contest 2 ticks already, Jules.
Yeah, Gargoyle's got grabbed. He gets grabbed himself. Doesn't really want to throw it out, but it might have been worth it. I'm not entirely sure. Rookie falling over might just signal the death for WGS. Didn't really matter at the end, let's be honest. There was one person after one person. Gargoyle, it's like, use the grab. I mean, yeah, they're all like grouped up, I guess, but there's no real follow-up, so we can't really do anything. Kind of an awkward situation for WGS at the end there, but War of Attrition did win Team MVP the points, but look at that time bank differential. 6 minutes and 17 seconds versus 1 minute and 55. Just insane.
Yeah, when it comes to Wars of Attrition, the main casualty, Jaws, is usually time. A lot of it taken there from Team MVP sitting sub 2 minutes against WGS Armament, who took only 1 minute and 43 seconds to take the entirety of that point. That was such a fast take, but now Team MVP, they're going to be feeling pressured. They've got to turn the gas. They've got to turn it up to 11 if they want to try and claim their own match point here on Assault, whereas WGS Armament, they can take it slow. They can play the ultimate bank game. We may see WGS Armament once again going for sort of like kiting defenses where you try and just drain the opponent's time back by not giving them the full engagement that they want.
Well, Finn's already dead.
He's done that 3 times in a row now. Come on, Finn.
Yeah. You know what he's doing? He's trying to psych him out. So I might play Fire, but probably not. But I might. You never know. Rookie briefly switched over to the Mei there. He's going to switch straight back to the Xayah, of course, so there won't be any Mei shenanigans, not just yet.
Karayan no longer wanted to play on the Winston as well. That was his previous gambit, but it didn't seem to work out right there. He did manage to get that promo rage, but was quickly earthshadowed after being booped into a Graviton Surge. So this time, the more reliable Reinhardt is going to apply the shielding for the remainder of his team as Mandu looks on from above, the bird of prey, ready to drop down and apply the boots.
Oh man. If only the Lucio would have like a bird skin, like little wings under his arms, you know. I was thinking, actually, that's more like one of those. Yeah, it was more like one of those cowboy jackets, you know, with the frills.
Yeah.
Could be one of those. You never know.
That seems out of character for him.
What do you mean out of character? We got like cyborg skins on like most people now. Out of character. What do you mean?
In my headcanon, that ain't right. Speaking of headcanon, WGS, in their headcanon, they are all over the point. Rookie getting a lot of pressure here, already down to half health.
Rookie gonna go low. So what shield's also gonna fall pretty fast as well, so MVP. I've got a nice little position here, but not much time, like I mentioned before. They really only got one more push after this if they do end up failing. Finn's going to have that Transcendence online very early. Byungwon is going to match in though. You're only 5% away from his own.
Probably so far ahead on a Sandbar as well. Can
wow, okay, early grab. What a surprise. Funny that. Gargoyle went to grab so soon. An instant Transcendence from Team MVP, but it's going to get layered on top of a sound barrier. WGS now caught in a grab. On top of the bell, and Rookie's going to be able to punch Karayan to death. Karayan falling now is a big problem for WGS. They've got nothing to stop Rookie just carving through the rest of their team. A valiant rally as well from Valentine does make sure they do survive the rest of the fight. Team MVP, they're going to be able to cap here. Stagger onto Myungbong also, as Rookie does manage to find that kill. I think
gets credit from Immorta being able to throw Myungbong a little bit further. I would have liked to have seen Rookie save that Graviton Surge potentially for the second fight, but still on Jasper still can combine using the stun of the Earth Shadow to try and facilitate the burst damage of the self-destructs. WGS Armament on the defense will be able to protect themselves from burst damage using the overshield applied from the Sand Barrier. But we'll have to see if WGS Armament will give away the high ground as easily as they have over the last few fights.
Self-destruct, used rather aggressive from Jasper, does finish the kill on Mandu, but DPI, saw that happen in the background, did manage to take out Jasper. They've only got one attempt really, and so was already going to go down. He got shield bashed and a couple of orbs of laid straight into his skull. Valentine is also going to fall as WGS are going to take control of the fight. Finn's going to fall and the rest of Team MVP are going to follow. WGS managed to hold them on the last point. No ticks were required either for Team MVP.
And that's super smart there from DPI. He saw that, okay, we're going to be in overtime. We need to make sure the brawling capability is diminished. So the second when he sees Jasper throwing myself, it's just like, oh, 150 HP, huh?
You're dead.
I guess I'll go for the old dive on that. Putting out the dive expertise there, taking down the small diva.
Yeah, no remake means there's not really much the wall of anything, really, that your Reinhardt can do. So what's kind of left stranded. He hasn't got a defense matrix to absorb a lot of damage that was coming his way after he got shield bashed. Team MVP, they end up completing the first point, so there is a win condition still here for them. But 6 minutes for WGS. That's a very scary time bank to have. And again, they could put themselves in a situation where they could go for a couple eco pushes, just guarantee themselves the first point, and then it's a minimum of a draw.
Yeah, if they can cap the first point, will be the draw, because of course Team MVP did not capture any of the second point, leaving them at 0-0-0, meaning that in order to complete this map, WGS Armament have to take the first point and then only the first tick of point B on Hanamura.
Maybe Team MVP feeling a little blue.
How on brand.
Yes, indeed.
Actually, they're in white, which is nice.
It is, yeah. I mean, I guess they don't really have. Is it like blue decals? Because the away skins or the home skins, sorry.
Like Boston and New York away skins.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but no, because obviously the home skins sometimes look like outlaws. Wow, nice boop onto Ryan. So what? Not being as cautious, just jumped straight into him. Another big boop. Using boop on cooldown currently. You know how much pressure they want to put on Karayan, but they're going to escort themselves into this miniature health pack room. We'll see if they take the high ground or not.
Speaking of pressure, WGS aren't feeling too much of it on their time bank right now. They're taking their time to get the position that they want. Allow Gargoyle the time to get a little bit of spam. That was a pretty risky play there from Jasper, trying to get some knockoffs. Unfortunately, missed everybody. Will just rejoin his team in relative safety as DPI tries to claim the high ground.
Yeah, he has got it. He did take it away from Jasper. And now WGS are going to go for their attack. Going to walk straight in to Team MVP. Just going to navigate themselves around this bell, using it for cover, of course. Pelican's earned himself a rally so fast. Using that really early on could sustain them through the incoming fire from Team MVP, who once again have pushed back. The aggression from WGS already. A Graviton Surge from Gargoyle. After he killed So What is going to net them at least a couple of kills. A Transcendence from Finn's not going to see the rest of the team through that fight. Now just the stalling for time or a quick reset from Jasper. Gargoyle claims that kill as well. Already up to 33% as they claim first and net them at least a draw.
And we see such smart mortar usage from both Rookie and Gargoyle to be able to gain credit for those environmental kills by using their mortars, allowing them to very much buff their ultimate banks. Speaking of buffed ultimate banks, MVP currently sitting on 4. That's going to mean that potentially this next fight could easily be theirs if they can get a clean combination of both the Graviton Surge and the Self-Destruct. They've got to be very economical draws, because they've got to hold on for 5 minutes and not give up one.
Early grabs. Oh, Valentine. Cheers for the kills. Very early. That was one-out wonder as well. Oh no, Self-Destruct was used too. My mistake. As Jasper did throw that one in. He netted a kill, but it was at the end. And it's kind of frustrating when you know it's going to end that fast. It's like, man, I shouldn't have used that Self-Destruct, but yeah, hopefully he'll be able to build that up fairly quickly.
Not only that, So What didn't get any ultimate charge off of that because he already had the Earth Shatter available. That's a huge amount of damage. It didn't really count for Team MVP's ultimate bank. Meanwhile, WGS, they were all caught in there. You can see Mandu and Membong, they were standing over the spot and was like, what?
It's time to amp it up.
Yeah, let's just amp it up in Harmony, or no, we're going to survive this. We'll just go for a single tick.
Instantly as well, gets his own ultimate online. That sound barrier could come out any moment. Wow, Myeonbong using that Transcendence. Whoa, okay. A beat from Fropey as well. Karayan gets instantly jumped on, but not layering his support ults is going to be key for them right now. Graviton Surge gets thrown out again. They're going to get grabbed off of the point. Self-Destruct on top of them also. So it gets killed by the initial grab tick damage. The rest of MVP are going to get taken off the map of Hanamura. And WGS find the tick that they needed and secure match point.
Valiant defensive attempt there from MVP space for boop onto Myeonbong when he was using his Transcendence. Was a little bit of a stroke of genius, but unfortunately the follow-up just wasn't there to ensure the remainder of WGS would be in a vulnerable state. This was a great Graviton Surge.
Yeah, if I feel like if they needed more ticks, that would have been kind of a bad use of the Transcendence, but Transcendence, you do get additional speed as well on top of that, so was able to get back to the point rather easily. They only needed a tick as well, and they had over 4 minutes, so it was going to be a fairly tough defense regardless.
Yeah, go there, getting the rare kill as well with a Graviton Surge tick onto So What does do a little bit of damage just out to your DPS and final blows overall. So a good job there from WGS Armament. We still have time to spare as well as we head towards our 4th map.
Yeah, Junkertown will be the 4th map. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back with that on your screens very soon. Hey guys, welcome back. WGS versus Team MVP is the match you are watching. 2-1 for WGS right now. After that kind of dominating performance on Hanamura, they had a 6-minute time bank going into the last point. Only took them about a minute and a half to actually cap in the end, and they only needed a tick. They end up taking it, put themselves a match point, and now it's Junkertown as the potential final map.
Yeah, and also, they did manage to do that with subbing in DPI instead of Flora on that Diva role. So potentially, if they're not planning on running that Sombra, is DPI a little bit of a better fit for 3-3 versus 3-3 duels that we can see between these teams? Because Team MVP, they're pretty good at those on King's Row, and we are going to be going to another map which features a payload. The escort map will be Junker.
Well, Team MVP, like you mentioned, did win King's Row, so maybe they win Junkertown. It could be map 5, of course, but WGS did take control fairly easily. It seems like they're rather unwilling to run the Sombra. I was kind of surprised. I mean, now we're moving on to Junkertown. I'm just thinking maybe they just keep DPI in. Would make a whole lot more sense. And just save the Sombra for another day. Maybe come up with and practice it a bit more to make sure their strats aren't fully revealed. Because, like we mentioned in King's Row, there's so much footage already of the Sombra from Flora. Does mean they know exactly when he's going to engage, etc., etc. Maybe they need to change that up in later weeks in order to bring it out as a surprise pick again. There you go. There's the map pool, of course, on your screens. Junkertown is our 4th map. You could also see some Bastion here too. There's a lot of things that could be played on Junkertown.
Yeah, Junkertown's a very variable map as far as maps go. Can bring out the Bastion, like you said. You can often see a Widowmaker as well because it's so open. Does allow for a lot of the exploitation of sightlines as well. So we'll have to see if there is going to be any of those sort of shenanigans, or if we're going to just be staying to the regular 3-3, since both of our teams thus far have felt little onus or pressure to move away from that.
Kind of gigantic scorelines too. I mean, I guess 5 isn't too much. 4-5, of course. 5 being the MVP way, but a lot we see a lot on King's Row, and we see it a lot on Hanamura too, where there's always a massive disparity in the way the scores and which way they actually go. We do see it in EU a fair amount where his first point holds, or it's like, oh, we held on second point and then the enemy team can't even get a ticket, for example. It's very rare that we go to very, very late stages of those kind of maps, because not only are they so snowbally, more often than not, one team is heavily more practiced on those kind of game types. As much as people hate Assault, like, it is a game mode that if you can end up just snowballing with ult advantage, it's kind of hard to lose. It's just more often than not, we're seeing MVP and Armament both build up to grabs so early, and Finn doing a good job of
always killing himself on the Pharah.
Yeah, well, yeah,
4 maps in a row.
I was going to say the Zenyatta, going to praise him for that, but he has teased us with the Pharah, of
well,
course.
when we talk about Zenyatta as well, Myeonbong's actually got first picks now twice onto Finn on that Zenyatta versus Zenyatta duel, which obviously isn't ideal. It does allow for a lot more freedom of Karayan as the frontline main tank. He doesn't have to worry so much about that Discord ult. Finn could be looking for those snipes. A lot of pressure onto Pelican now.
See, this is why he's so ahead on ult charge, or at least tying with Myeonbong. Myeonbong is obviously a little bit behind now, because Finn just plays so aggressive. It's like, okay, I mean, DPI, you can waste Matrix if you want, or you can commit resources to come and kill me, but you're probably not going to, because you need to protect Karayan, because we are booping Karayan. We are walking into him. We want to kill him ASAP.
And you know, Pelican's a valuable target. He's the only one who cannot receive a repair pack that cannot be used to heal yourself, so occasionally you won't see Brigitas be the recipients of burst healing.
Or at all, really, unless you got an Anna, of course. Wow, look at this. Big rotation, actually, onto DPI. Caught a little bit unawares in that background, and Rookie now just trying to find this massive flank. Good defensive boot by Mandu there to make sure Rookie didn't get any more ult charge.
WGS still yet to take a proper fight. They are going to try and contest the car, but so much distance has been gained here. The team MVP, so what moves forward, going to take a bit of pressure, but will get all the healing he needs from his 3 supports.
Gargoyle. Now he's the guy that always gets the ult online fairly first up. I don't know what happened to words there. I'm not
Fairly soon.
Fairly soon. There's the shadow laid out fairly soon, but Karayan isn't going to do all of much, so what is going to move and posture towards his own. He's spotting openings. He wants to go for it, but his shield is so low. Only 38%. He still does it. So what? Whiffing.
Flashbacks to Hanamura.
Oh my goodness. Whiffing the Earth Shatter again.
That's the 3rd time.
Gargoyle is going to send people off the edge. The rest of MVP, head in hands. And now ult advantage for WGS.
I said WGS Armament, Jaws. They weren't taking a proper fight for a while, but Team MVP, they took two of MVP's minutes away right there from just backing up and generating the ultimates, occasionally contesting the cut, and now Gargoyle's ready to lay down the Graviton Surge rather quickly. It's going to be Rookie who can join him there, who can get the better execution on the combo here.
Oh, Rookie! He took a point-blank right-click from Gargoyle in the face. That hurt a lot. There's the grab. Instantly he's going to use the sound barrier though, an instant grab coming through as well. DPI's going to lay down that, oh my goodness! I thought that got more kills than it actually did. Froppy is going to go down, they end up swinging into it. That's self-destruct. Oh, and the disgusting stagger onto the Baby D.Va as well. That was, you should be able to boop him, yeah. Oh, Pelican with the mid-air snipe with the shift. Not bad, not bad.
Gargoyle's Graviton Surge there was super smart, Joyce. He managed to actually catch Sowat midway through his charge, what was going to be onto one of the members of WGS Armament, and potentially also allowing for the burst damage to be delivered, but because he got caught by that Graviton Surge, the charge was cancelled and WGS Armament remained safe, and then they could follow up as well. So big brain from Gargoyle.
Self-destruct in the back line. Gargoyle uses that damage to charge himself up a little bit more. The beaters come through. So what gets laid down to the ground with the Earth Shatter. No one ready to follow up on all of that damage. Transcendence is going to get used to make sure Karayan does stay alive. Gargoyle so close to yet another Graviton Surge.
Team MVP got to mind the cliffs. They could be pushed off there potentially, but they are going to try and make the re-engagement. So Kar continues moving backwards. All about pressuring Karayan right now, so Sowat can get a clean shadow. There's a Graviton Surge.
That grab drop right on the feet of Sowat. Valentine actually gets killed off, but Karayan's going to go down as well. Gargoyle needs to make something work here. The big boo from Mandu. He ends up finding two, and even the Baby D.Va. Perfect play from WGS. MVP with 10 seconds to go are falling at the final hurdle.
It's going to have to be Froppy who goes in to try and touch. You can see that he's coming around the left-hand side.
Can he do it?
He did manage to get there, so overtime will happen.
Oh no!
Oh, that's an Ian grab!
Oh, DPI, the only win con from Team MVP, goes straight into the mech of DPI. Throws out his self-destruct as well, doesn't net anything, but this could be it. WGS are going to be able to at least leverage something here, but Karayan actually goes down. He was cornered, and Froppy does find the kill. Another perfect aggressive boot from the Lucio.
Too aggressive there from Karayan, thinking that they got the ace in the hole against Team MVP with the Graviton Eat coming through from DPI, but now there's a potential that Team MVP will actually be able to complete on first if WGS can't get the contest here. Karayan is back, but DPI is not.
He's going to go for the re-engage. The shadow comes through. It lands on Sowat. He's going so low. And even a Transcendence for WGS to make sure they survive. Self-destruct in the back line finds nobody, but that grab definitely did. 5 people locked up. Jasper's going to get removed from it from a pin from Karayan, but can they find any more? They're going to move forward as they just put all their pressure, all their weight on Sowat's shield. He had the shatter as well at the very end, was too scared to actually whiff it again, so doesn't go for it, and it actually stops them from delivering the payload. WGS hold Team MVP before the first checkpoint.
The weight was placed there, Jaws, and Team MVP squelched beneath it. They are now going to be looking for an earlier hold on first point if they ever want to take us to that tiebreaker map of Nepal. But right now, WGS Armament, they have their boot on the throat of Team MVP, who are looking down the barrel of their first loss in Contenders Korea 2019 Season 1.
WGS on an absolute rampage. Already have they beaten Element Mystic. A weakened Element Mystic, yes, but Element Mystic nonetheless. And now they're facing up against Team MVP and about to take this one as well. WGS looking like a top of the standings team right now. Just on being able to flex out DPI and Flora, I thought was good enough. I thought at the start of the season that having someone so good on Sombra was perfect for their team, but having DPI as well step in as this big D.Va player is also working wonders for them. Of course, you can see the scoreline currently for them in the standings, 1 apiece for WGS, and Team MVP are sitting at 2-0. This will be their first loss, and they'll be equaling score going into next week.
And you got to wonder, Jaws, when you look at WGS Armament right now, if they can also bring out the Sombra, they've got such a good 3-3 when DPI's in, or even when Flora's in as well, they still managed to win out Lijiang Tower versus 3-3 duels. It makes it so much harder to prepare for this team, because for a lot of teams, you only have to prepare to go up against their 3-3 and maybe also their Winston 3-3. But we've seen Sombra, Winston, and Classic 3-3 from WGS Armament, so they can always bring out different approaches.
Speaking of different approaches, perhaps just getting a scouting arrow first up, or maybe Mandu finding a pick. Okay, yeah, so they were just waiting for Team MVP. They know Team MVP has to hold fairly close, so finding an initial pick would have been golden.
Just going to pressure the cart right now. Get a little bit of extra cleave from Karian. Wants to get the bonus.
Strike. There we go.
Look at how far he is ahead of Sowat as well. Sowat didn't even get to do a single swing right there. So Karian definitely going to be in control right now. So the cart continues moving forward. We can see a mirroring of strategies here between WGS Armament and Team MVP. We also saw Armament moving backwards, kiting back, allowing for the time bank to drain as the cart moves forward and then contested at this corner. But it's going to be a lot more time for WGS Armament as they've reached this point now compared to MVP.
You got to leverage that ult charge that Karian was able to build up. You just got to move him forward, man. Just put all the resources into him. That's exactly what they just did. Pelican is going to fall, though, as Finn does manage to find the kill. The flanking Zenyatta is normally the deadliest. A fully charged right click will end his life. Froppy is also going to go down as Gargoyle goes aggressive, so 1-for-1 trade. Froppy's going to be able to get back to the fight quicker, however, as WGS's Pelican even is only just getting back to the fray.
But look at Gargoyle just trying to keep that cart pressured, and so what does that currently have for Disco?
Oh, the shatter! The two-man straight into the Transcendence, though. Rookie and so what ended up going down. Team MVP not quite hot enough on the Q key. Finn, regardless of his old generation, doesn't get it off in time. The desperation sound barrier as well from Froppy to try and find something. As self-destruct only finds one, but it's a baby diva at best. WGS have the spawn advantage at their backs as well. So what makes it back and is so close to that shatter, but that's their only win con. And WGS have a graph. There you go. Gargoyle's just going to throw it out, pinning people away from the payload. Pelican tries to get in. He just wants kills, man. Valentine ends up going down, and WGS are going to deliver the payload and take the series 3-1.
Perfect target focus there. When you take down 900 HP worth of tanks, as you saw right there from Karian, taking down both the Reinhardt and the Zarya, it takes a huge amount of focus to be able to kill all of those before that Transcendence gets there. That was some phenomenal target calling there from WGS, managing to overwhelm MVP so summarily. And they may have come from Trials Jaws, but they've beaten so many established teams now. And they've even taken one of the few maps that Runaway have lost in the last 3 Contender seasons.
Actually insane. And so what? It felt like he was a little bit under pressure there, especially at the end of that round, end of the first round, their offense. He had the shatter, but we've already seen him with 2 shatters. Maybe that was actually the pressure getting to him. It was like, okay, I need to land shatter, but last time I've tried, I've just kind of died as soon as I've been using it. So like maybe he just didn't want to use it. Maybe he was a little bit hesitant, a little bit scared, and it really felt like that on their defense as well. Karian already had the ultimate bank advantage, was able to just circumvent the shields, and then there was nothing the rest of MVP could do.
Yeah, just overwhelming force being delivered, especially by DPI and Gargoyle. I feel like DPI is definitely maybe the better diva than Flora.
I do believe so. Let's jump into a few replays, though. Oh, replays first, though. There we go. Now, the control was fairly dominant. Again, WGS... they just knew how to leverage how many ults they had. They went for a couple of eco pushes on Lijiang, and it was like, okay, we got 99%, and like we mentioned before, you just build up 6 ults or build up a few tank ults and then just roll with it. It was super easy for them to take that map because they knew they were a distinct advantage. Obviously, we saw King's Row there as well, the only map that MVP did manage to secure, and what a time back actually as well they did manage to cap it with.
Given what we saw between Control and King's Row, I feel like MVP definitely got a better sense of how Flora played Diva and started to exploit that a little bit more, because they may have been expecting, like we were, the Flora Sombra. So when they decided, oh, okay, so this is the sort of playstyle that Flora goes for on the Diva, that's when they found out, okay, so this is how we're going to win King's Row.
Nice boost from Mandu, by the way. And the staggering as well did obviously help the team. It helps regardless, but being in those small time bank situations really does help. You stagger that diva for an additional, what, 15 seconds or so? Like, depends on what you can get off. Maybe you can find a boot, maybe you can find a whip shot to push her back into your team and then just body block her. That's another thing that really was taken advantage of by WGS.
Yeah, and of course, also a 10-second respawn after that. You can drain so much of an enemy's time bank to up to half a minute just to get that 6-man push ready. that's when you really are going to be in a great position to try and bleed that out, especially when MVP, they were taking so much time to really do anything on Junkertown. So much time was being burnt away by WGS from little tricks like that.
Yeah, I think we're going to take a quick break, guys. We are actually going to take the stream offline very briefly, just so we can reset a couple of things, plus add a small delay. So we'll be right back, guys. Do not go anywhere. Of course, we have Geekstar versus Gen G coming up just after this.